Okay, on the Who Gets Reported feature for your 1099 miscellaneous forms, the basic ones that are marked as taxable income are the rent and the late fee. So anything that gets paid directly to the owner will be on that 1099. Now you do see some other ones up there: leasing fee, income, NSF check fee, application fee, anything that is marked taxable income. And you can look at that by going into reports, going to miscellaneous reports, and looking at your chart of accounts. That'll tell you how you have your income codes marked. Okay, on your filing deadlines. Your filing deadlines, you have your vendors. Now your vendors, the recipients need to go out by January 31st, as well as the owners and tenants for the NEC, the miscellaneous, and the interest forms. If you're mailing your IRS form, the vendors have to be out by the 31st of January, and then February 28th for the owners and tenants 1099s. If you're filing online through the IRS Fire feature, the vendors again have to be out by January 31st. Your owner 1099 miscellaneous can be out by March 31st, as well as your tenant 1099 interest forms. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and go into the tax reporting. So we're going to go ahead and minimize this screen and get into the Promise program. Now, if you notice here, I'm at the logon screen. The reason I'm at the logon screen is to see the version that you need to be on to do your 1099s for this year. So version 12, release 2023.1, build 3 was the version that was approved by the IRS for tax filing for 2022. If you need to update, you can go to our webpage, or you can call the support staff to get the information needed for that. And go ahead and go into the program, and we'll go in and look at the tax module. So the tax module is located under mailings and all the way down to tax reporting. Now, when you first get here, the screen is going to pop up. All this means is that your 1099 information has not been updated or reloaded since the last time you went into it. And that can be either 2021, it can be mid-year when you went in to do some corrections. It can be when you sent out your 10 matching file. Or for any other reason that you came in here and reloaded it. You can just click OK. Now, if your tax year does not say 2022, then you need to get the update. You also will need to and/or call the support staff for more information. Settings very rarely needs to be changed. Reporting group. On reporting group, you have vendors only, owners only, tenants only, owners and tenants, or you can just do all your taxpayers. Keeping in mind that each one of those are going to be getting a different style, 1099 miscellaneous versus 1099 interest versus 1099 NEC. On your display returns, you can have it to where it's only going to show the returns that are reported, returns that are marked as print, or any returns that are unreportable. So if we click on unreportable, it's pretty much going to bring them all up. Marked as skipped, none of them are marked as skipped. So we just say no filter. And on your buttons here, you have all returns. Now, when you click on the all returns field, it's going to bring up any change that you've made over here, and it's going to take it back to all returns. On the reload returns feature, this is the one you want to do to start, to update, or anything that you need to do when you go in here. So you're going to click on reload return. This is going to bring up the reload returns screen. You can just reload amounts. Say you found an error before and you needed to edit that. You went back and you edited. You need to come back in here to reload returns and say reload amounts. Reload taxpayer information. You do that if you've made a change in the profile on the owner's address, on the tax ID number, or whether or not you want to send a 1099. You can exclude returns with override. You can exclude returns that are skipped. In this process, we're just going to say start over. It'll pop up another screen that tells you that it's been reloaded from the database using the current settings. Any changes you made are going to be lost. You can also click on the button to order your tax forms, and this clicking on this button is going to take you directly into our Promise Forms website, where you can order online or call the number at the bottom to order them over the phone. Here you can also click on vendors only, and you'll only see your vendors. You can click on owners and tenants. You can mark print none. And there's a reason you'd want to print none. So you want to do a test to make sure that the 1099s are going to print correctly. So you're going to test it out on blank paper. So then you would go ahead and mark them all, print none, mark them all as skipped, print all, print none, skip none. If you mark them all as skipped so that you can do your test, you would unskip, say, the first 4. And then print them out on paper. And in this, you would be able to go in, and when you print the test ones out, you can line them up with your 1099s that you got and verify that all the boxes are going to print in the right places. This, takes away the possibility of wasting a lot of 1099s if you print them all at one time. Now we're going to go here under the errors. So if you look here, Charles Wayne Cheek has an error. So we're going to click on him. And at the bottom, it's going to tell us filer has no tax ID. Now, this is the filer has no tax ID, which means it's the company. So from here, we can go up to setup, down to company, and put in a tax ID. Save that. After you save it, then you have to go back in and you have to do it again. So you're going to reload. And we're going to say start over. I could say reload taxpayer information, but that's not going to affect the company because we're the filer. Okay, so that's going to get rid of all but 2 of the errors. We can come over here to display returns, filter returns, and you say reporting error. That's going to bring up 2 of them. Frederick Clayton has taxpayer address truncated, and then Peyton Gray has taxpayer address truncated. So in here, we can go in and we can say edit the 1099. You can go in and edit the 1099. This allows you to leave the profile alone and only edits it for the 1099. The reason we have a truncated address is because the IRS only allows about 40 characters, where Promise adds about twice that. So we can come in here, we can click on override, we can change this information. And then we're going to take the error out and we're going to save it. In doing that, that gets rid of the error from the list. On Peyton Gray, we're going to say edit the taxpayer. Editing the taxpayer, we're going to just change a few things here. Okay. And then we're going to go in and say save. We're going to say yes to updating the information. Then we're going to have to come over here to reload reload return, sorry. Click OK. Reload taxpayer information and update records. Clayton still has a problem, it didn't save it. I'm going to go ahead and go change that again. Just come back over here and tell it to start over. And they just keep popping up. It's very easy to make a mistake. Okay, so here we have that. They're all gone. So I'm going to come back over here and go back to no filter. And you see that everybody's up there. And it's showing just the owners. I go over to the vendors. Again, that's showing just the vendors and nobody has any errors. Nobody's skipped and nobody's marked as do not print. Another reason you might say do not print or skip is that you're not quite sure about one of the incomes. So then you would go in and you would change, or you'd skip down, print all the others that you have to do, and then go in and do some research on the other one. And once you have all of those, completed. The next step would be to go in and do the printing. Now with your printing, you can go in and say print tax forms. And you can do your print 1099 copies. You can print your 1096. You can print a substitute 1099. With your substitute 1099, this allows you to print out a substitute 99 to get permission from your owner to post it online. You just have them sign it. You can keep that with your property management contract paperwork. 1099 copies, 1096 copies, and again, you can order your 1099 too. Again, printers can vary, so you want to test the alignment with blank paper before printing the final forms. So you say print 1099 copies. Okay, this lets you know that this has been the one accepted by the IRS. You click OK. This is going to bring up the 1091 form type, what printer it's going to use. If you're printing out the owner's, the recipient copy, or the tenant copy, you're going to select copy B. This will only print the last 4 digits of the Social Security number. If you do your test printing and it's too high or too low, then you can go in and use the micro adjust. Micro adjust allows you to move it up or down. So if you're going to move it up, you can put adjust printing up. 1 inch is 50. So if you want half an inch, you would do 25. You want to move them down, you would put a negative number. So up or down. So down, you put the negative. So positive number moves it down. Negative number moves it up. I had that backwards. I apologize. This is not the printer you want to print to. You can just do the drop down and see every printer that you have in your office. Cancel that. On your print 1099, 1096 forms, you can just click on the button, brings up this information. Now, the transmitter control number and the name control are all items that are given to you by the IRS. So you should already have them in order to do your 1099s. I'm not quite sure how long it takes to get them, but if you are sending over, I believe it's 50 1099s, you're required by the IRS to do the electronic filing. You can even create a test file. The test file is the 10 matching file. So basically you can click on the test file, upload that file to the IRS website, IRS Fire website. And it usually takes about 24 to 48 hours in order to get that back. And I think you can do it as far back as halfway through, but you possibly could do it as much as every time you get a new owner, just to verify that it's going in correctly, correct name and stuff like that. You just click on print. When you click on print, it's going to go ahead and bring up that message. And that message says something needs to be entered. If you notice, and I'm sorry I closed it so fast, the cursor is flashing in the contact phone number. You can put anything, you can put your phone number in there, your email address in there, and the name control for the IRS Fire program. At the bottom, you have mark all B records with correction code G. So that means that this is a corrected code. This allows you to upload a corrected file after the fact, just in case you get something back from the IRS states that it failed. You can create a corrected one. to send up there after making your corrections. You still do need to send out your 1096 form, even if you do it through the IRS file. Now we're going to go take a look at an end of the year statement because we are done with this. End of year statements under mailings, owner statement. And then you want to do the flashlight button on the override statement type because most customers have a specific statement that they already have saved in the owner profile that is for their monthly statement. So you want to use the end of year statement to override that statement. Keep in mind that status doesn't matter when you're doing your 1099s, but it does matter when you do your statements or your reports. So if the owner is marked inactive, it's not going to do a statement. It will still do the 1099 if they've had the income through the year. Once you've selected your override, then you click on Run. Now it's going to default to just the last month to date. We want to go ahead and change it to last year. This will allow us to get all the income for the previous year. So we're going to click on Preview. Sorry, I wanted to restrict it to just one owner. Okay, I have his record updated, so I wanted to make sure you had updated information on him. Okay, so this statement is going to come up and it's going to show from January 1st through the end of the year, a yearly statement summary for this owner only. Now the summary is the total of all the rents, the cash contributions, any bills that went out, and it's all combined with all the properties that he owns. This owner owns 2 properties. So out of that $16,185 in rent, if you look down to the next page, you'll see that $8,280 of it was for one unit and $7,905 was for the other. But again, you still see all the bills that were paid and what property it went to. You can email this, you can publish it, you can mail it to the owner, however your owners or you have agreed, and you have agreed to do it. Now, the one other report that I wanted to show you guys that I found very helpful for my picky owners is located under Reports, down under Ledger Reports. And I always did the cash flow statement 12 months. I did my end of the year at the end of the year for the owners. But then when I sent out their 1099s, I would do the cash flow ending at the previous, December 31st. And this cash flow breaks it down by month across by 12 months. So it's month, 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 all the way across. And it shows what was received in January and paid out and how much the owner got. And it keeps doing it throughout the month and gives you a total at the end. This worked very well with some of my picky owners. It allowed them to see what month they paid what, when they sent in the money. Information like that was very helpful for them.